Hello there and welcome to my channel. This is Non-Gone and today we're playing Death Stranding. We're playing the non-director's cut version, the original PS4. We're playing on the PS5 to reduce loading times because we are doing a Speed Platinum. This is part 2 in our detailed walkthrough of the Speed Platinum, which is basically trying to get all the trophies as quickly as possible from the time you get your first trophy to the time you get your last trophy. Again, this is I'm doing this a little bit differently than I normally do. Instead of live commentary, it's post commentary. The reason for that is that I'm pretty unhappy with the strategies that I used. I did get the top time. It's right there, 45 hours and 43 minutes. But I'm still not happy. The first half was okay, which is what we're doing right now. The second half was a complete disaster. So I still managed to get it, but I think I could be almost 20 hours faster. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. So rather than go through and show each individual part of this playthrough and do it, even though I did live commentary, I'm kind of just doing a summary here. Also, the game itself lends itself to this because really you don't need to watch somebody drive 10 minutes down to the next distribution center. You just drive there. Once you know the route, it's not even an issue. So we're going to try and make this super quick. Normally these things are like 45-hour playthrough would be like 10 or 12 hours of video, and I'm going to try and keep it to like 2. So we're in segment 2. We just got to South Knot City and met Mama and came back to South Knot. We now have the ability to build zip lines, and so that's the first thing that we're going to work on. This particular segment will start at the zip lines and take us all the way to Mountain Knot City and ultimately the first prepper and ultimately the next fight with Cliff, I think, is the next time we stop. So we'll be back at Mountain Knot City with a job for Hartman. So that's what we're going to do in this split. This is a 2 hour and 10 minute split. So that would take the time to 6 hours and 10 minutes. And I was pretty consistent on this one as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to do is grab about 7 PCCs from South Knot. And if you don't have enough chiral crystals, you should have quite a bit in your pocket. So donate those using the recycle, build 7 PCCs, and then head on out. You want to put your first one right by the South Knot. And that should let you go to the 2 that Mama built, actually 3, but we don't need the third one, and get you up in those hills right there. So the second one you want to put down is right here. You can see it will connect with the line that you're making already. You can also see that big rock down there. That's by the Cosplayer. We're going to come back here in a second, and we'll want to be able to attach and connect to that right there. Then go put one more further up the hill. I usually do it right about here where it starts to go down, and you'll have to be careful because there's BTs through here. Then we're going to go across the way from the little gap, and you can run. At this point, you don't have a vehicle, so just run over there. It only takes a couple minutes. And you want to kind of be up high on the rocks because we're going to keep going. And then the next one we're going to place is right down there by the collector. So wherever you can get to it that's somewhat high ground that is connecting to the line you've made. Now the next one that I would do is right by the distribution center. So go ahead and grab it and put it right there. If you're out of PCCs at this point, you're going to want 5 more from this point, so make sure you got 5. Again, donate chiral crystals if you need to. And then we're going to come out and run to the left up through these rocks. And we want to put one up on the hill here that connects to the collector, also connects to the distribution center, and you should be able to look over the river and see a pretty straight line to the weather station. That's going to come in handy, but not for like 15 more hours. But make sure you do that. And we're going to take a very quick, very easy detour. Go ahead and run to the distro center, pick up the optional order for Sam from the Cosplayer, run out to your zip line and go all the way down to that one overlooking the rock and take it right into the Cosplayer. It's right at the bottom of the hill. Put a zip line right on that rock so you can get back up and then zip line back to the distro. So once you come back from the distro, grab your cargo for the Waystation because that's part of the story. And make sure you have 4 PCCs. Remember, I said 5 and we used 1, so you should still have 4. You can put 1 up here on the hillside and then head directly towards the Craftsman. You can see the building off to the distance there and run out until you're pretty much exactly 300 meters away. Throw it down there. Once you do that, cross the river and put another one there real close. And then the fourth one should get you right at the Craftsman. Now, I suggest, I'm pretty happy with the route. I'm pretty happy with the placement of these, but you want to go out and look for visual cues so that you know exactly where they go, and you can just look for that one rock that you know. And that way you're not messing around going, gosh, is this far enough? Is this not far enough? Did I mess up? Now there's a bridge in the way, whatever it is. Just find those first in your practice runs so that you know exactly where these are going to go. So once you get to the Craftsman, you want to have 4 PCCs. So whatever your stock is, take some from him until you have 4. And then put one out here 300 meters away. Make it pretty exact. 298 is fine, but I wouldn't go much less than that. And it should be up on this little ridge right here so you can see everything. And that's the only one you can really place. Go ahead and drive all the way up to the Waystation. Head left and run up the riverbank to avoid the BTs. And then head right at the mountain and go up the little spine here so you can get up there without too many rocks and get up there on your trike. Once you make your delivery, grab, just leave your bike, don't take on the next delivery, turn right around and put a zipline anchor down right behind the Waystation on this rock right here. Make sure you pull it just a little bit away from the rock so that you can still see down the cliff, but you don't fall off when you dismount. Do that about 20 times and you'll learn not to do it. Then just go ahead and run down the slope here and place your next one 300 meters away or so, pretty close, so that it still connects to the one up by the Waystation. And then keep going, and your last one should be right real close to this warehouse right here, and you should be able to connect it, to drop it, and connect it to the one in front of you and the one behind you, which now makes a complete line from South Knot City all the way up to this Waystation. So you can zip line anywhere along there, and you can also reach the Cosplayer and the Collector from there. You're also like one zip line away from the junk dealer. It's a really good line to have. It'll help you get to the Elder and the Engineer and Lake Knot eventually, and the weather station. Just a great spine to put down for your zip lines. So once that's done, you're not quite done yet. You got to sneak through this BT and head for that big warehouse right there. If you follow from where you dropped your zip line straight to the door, there's only, I think, one BT that's going to be close enough that you got to hold your breath. So go ahead and grab. When you get in here, I suggest you grab the 3 ceramics that are here. You're going to need them in a minute. And then also the memory chip, which I think is memory chip 20, or the 20th one that we've got. So look at that. We're almost halfway done with the memory chips already. And we're like 5 hours into this run. So that's awesome. Some of these, by the way, do not spawn until certain actions are completed. And that's why we're skipping some of them on the road, but not these. We're already up to 20. So now sneak back to your zip line and run it back up to the Waystation. Pick up the delivery for the distribution center that goes the other way. Head out about 3 peaks. It's kind of where the rocks are falling down, and you'll find another memory chip here. This one I suggest you practice finding because it's kind of hard. The map is terrible to read up here. I don't even know, but it's on this little spine here right by the rock. So grab memory chip the 21st, memory chip 21. So head on towards the distribution center. There's 2 ways when you get to the incinerator to go. The safe route is to go up right through this pass here. We're going to head to the mule camp, which there's only going to be 2 times we're going through. I hate this mule camp. It's terrorists. They shoot you. Bad news, especially on hard. The memory chip number 22 is in here, the 22nd one that we're going to get. So grab that in the largest house that's there. Again, take a bola gun if you need to, and knock out the people that are in your way. But I wouldn't try to clear this whole thing. There's 20-some people in here. Then speed on over to the distribution center. Okay, so when you get to the distribution center, first thing you want to do is make the delivery. It's timed, so you might as well. And grab as many resources as you can hold and head on out. I don't think there's enough in the DC to build the road that we're going to build, but at least it's enough to get started. So head to the paver just to the right of the entrance and drop all this stuff off there. On the way back, there's a truck parked right here to the left, and another memory chip is on top of that truck, so grab it. It's the 23rd on our list. So this is where we're going to make our first big departure from the fast walkthrough. So bear with me on this. We got to deal with the Novelist's son. And I've thought a lot about how to handle this because I made a huge mistake. It cost me like 12 hours of that 45 hours of my run. I'm going to break this into 3 parts. I'm going to tell you what I was trying to do. I'm going to tell you what I did. And then I'm going to tell you what I think you should do. So let's go with that. So what I was trying to do, you're going to pick up a delivery from the DC here that goes to Mountain Knot City. It's an antimatter bomb. If you head around to the right, you will find the Novelist's son up there on the slope, kind of at the far, western edge of the map. And just downhill from him, there'll be a piece of lost cargo. In order to get the Novelist's son to start working on stars with you, you sooner or later are going to have to pick up that cargo and hand it into his terminal. So my plan was to do that. Now, after that, I've had some problems getting the emails to go. My goal was to actually 5-star the Novelist's son right here in this part. And I again, didn't get a chance to prep it or flesh it out. I only was working on theories. So the idea was I was going to drop that off and then drive out and continue on with the game. And then the next time I saw him, I would kind of work on him a little bit more. That would require, dropping off the first cargo. What I did instead, and I have no idea why I did this other than that it was 3 o'clock in the morning, is I picked up the cargo and forgot that I had it and never gave it to him. So I ended up driving this bomb all the way up to Mountain Knot City, at which point you fast travel back to get Mama to bring her to Mountain Knot City, and the game sticks that cargo in a private locker wherever you were traveling from, which in this case was the safe house at the bottom of the hill, and it will not respawn. It will just sit in that private locker, and I had no idea it was there, and it took me 12 hours to find it, and in the meantime, I couldn't do anything with the Novelist's son. So that's my cool story. Here's what I think you should do, and this is based on theories, and although educated theories and not necessarily practice. Forget about the bomb. Don't even pick it up. Don't take on the delivery. Just head out and drive down to the Novelist's son. Grab the lost cargo and give it to him, and that should take you to just before 1 star. Now turn around and head back to the distribution center, and as soon as you cross the line between his territory and the DC, there's like a little red-blue line there, you should get his first email, which will say something about gourds. Now, I believe that if you turn right back around, go down to where that lost cargo was, save the game, and then go to the exit to the title screen and reload it, the cargo will respawn. It'll be right there, and you can take it to him again. Once you do that, you won't get any stars for it. You will get likes. It'll go up to 102. You should run back to the distribution center and sleep. And keep sleeping in the private room and leaving the private room until you're out of emails. Hopefully, one of those emails, you might be a little behind because you haven't slept in a while and you only are allowed to get 2 every time. So keep doing that. And hopefully, one of those emails will be from the Novelist's son. If you get that, that's perfect. You have achieved something that I was unable to figure out before I did this run. So I believe that if you run back there and pick up that lost cargo again, you'll have to save and reload for it to respawn, then it will take him up to 2 stars. And I would suggest if you got that going that you continue to do that a couple of times, maybe 4 or 5, I think, save and reloads, and that will stop him at the end of 2 stars, at which point you should be able to come back to the distribution center and save your game again and get another email from him that lets you know that he's ready to go to 3 stars. That's the point where you want to go ahead and take on your delivery for Mountain Knot. Because when you get down there, if you save and reload again, that next lost cargo that you give him should be enough to get him to join the UCA, at which point you can leave. You don't have to keep doing it. There's deliveries for him. They won't show up unless the Novelist's son is a known quantity, and we're going to get those on our way post game. So we've just saved a whole bunch of time. The dude's already at 3 stars. We'll be 5-starring him in like 10 minutes instead of 14 hours, which is what it took me. So that's my advice to you. Hopefully you understand it. If not, work on this little area and see if that stuff works. You're really just trying to find that first email from him that'll get you to 2 stars. So anyway, I'm going to pick back up with us having the bomb on our back and heading up to Mountain Knot City. So once you do the Novelist's son, you're going to want to drive up, and I suggest you memorize this route and practice it at least like 5 or 6 times. You're going to be going back and forth up here a lot because we're not putting zip lines in this area. So get to the little spur of a stream here that goes up into the mountains and head to the left of that and go upstream. When you get to the second little hump, you'll see a little gap in the right. That's when you want to cross the stream and go through those rocks up there and then turn left. And that'll give you a relatively smooth path right up until you hit this big rock, at which point you want to turn, go over the crest and down this little gap right here, and then turn left again. Almost immediately, you'll see a tan, brownish kind of rock looking thing. You want to turn right there and head straight towards the next big rock. And when you get to there, turn left and then right again, and you'll be right at the distribution center. I suggest you park right here with this bomb because I've blown it up trying to come down these rocks a lot. It's far easier just to hold L2 and R2 and walk and make your delivery. Once you've made your delivery, you get absolutely nothing. You do not get Mountain Knot City on the network, so we have to deal with that. And the way you got to deal with that is go over to Mama's lab, pick her up, and bring her up here. And that is the next big challenge. So what we're going to do is turn right back around on the trike and go right back down to the bottom of this hill. And there should be a safe house here. That's an online safe house. I've never done a playthrough and not had one here. If it's not here, then I suggest driving to the distribution center and fast traveling from there. It's still faster than going over the mountains, or find another safe house that's closer. But this one always seems to be here from somebody, so go ahead and use it if you can. And we're going to fast travel to South Knot City. We're going to definitely want to take a trike. And we're going to want to take at least 2 assault rifle level 2s out of here. And then we're going to drive to Mama's lab, which is just right over there. Make sure you drive. Don't zip line. You're going to need that trike. So once we get there, some stuff's going to happen. And, you know, it's weird stuff. This lady's really weird, but you're going to skip all that anyway because we're scooting. And we're going to fight our second boss battle. So if you were on hard difficulty, you might want to change it to easy. Otherwise, this guy's an absolute tank. And I think 2 assault rifles probably won't be enough. But on very easy, it is definitely enough. So just start shooting and shoot him till he's dead. It won't take that long. Again, once you beat him, make sure you pick up all of the chiral crystals. We've been getting real close to 0 now. This will be the last time we're close to 0. This is like over 1,000 crystals and we're good. So once you beat him, pick her up, grab at least 2 PCCs. I'm not sure that you can carry her and 3 PCCs, and we're also going to pick up a lost cargo on the way to this. So, you know, manage your load as best you can. You're going to go to Mountain Knot, and you got to do it on the bike. And this is another route that I really, really suggest you memorize and get used to. It's difficult if you mess it up, and it's fraught with peril, I guess you would say. So we don't like things that are fraught with peril. We want to make it as easy as possible. So when you pick her up, head for the right corner of the freeway overpass there. From there, you can head down one of the rivulets to the river. From there, you can go directly across the river there. It's not red, so you can make it. And we're going to make a slight left at the end of this river right here and go down to that dam. On one of the little pieces of debris, we'll have memory chip number 23, or the 23rd one we got. At which point, we're going to head out across the plains and up towards the snowy part of the mountains. And when you get to the snow, there's 3 little passes that go over that ridge, you know, where it's not rock, but it's snow. And you want to head for the middle one. Drop down off the back of the middle one and kind of stay level, I guess, like cut across the mountain. Don't go downhill, don't go uphill. And you'll find a little pyramid looking rock that's about the size of your bike. So you want to head for that and go just to the left of that and go over the back. And you should see lost cargo for the Robotocist. Don't run it over. I've done that before, and it ruins it instantly. So don't hit it. You want to pick it up and head directly down this hill and drop it off at the Robotocist. This is a cool trick that I learned from Distortion, because when you have to do the next part of this, you have to deliver stuff to the doctor and the Robotocist. And if you deliver this cargo, it will not require you to do the Robotocist part. So that's like 10 minutes you'll save instantly, and it's on the way. So anyway, drop it off. Now the roboticist is on the network, so we can put down zip lines, and we're going to throw one right back here. Make sure you can see the little ridge up there because we're going to put one there eventually. And then head, if you don't have 2 more PCCs on you, grab them. You can manufacture them from the roboticist, and then head around this little building here and up the hill there. There's a peak right at the top, and you want to put a zip line right at the top of that peak. From the peak, you can see a couple of buildings, a couple of old office buildings there, and you want to throw your next one on the rightmost of those buildings and as close to the edge as you can towards the downhill part. And that will be your final zip line that you put down. You will have to dodge some BTs coming down here, so just do the best you can. Again, learn the route. They spawn in the same spot every time. So once you learn, stay further left here and stay further right there, that's fine. Also, if you get caught, you can hit L3 to boost right as them dudes are trying to grab you and take you off your bike. And that works too. So once you got your 3 PCCs, finally head down to Mountain Knot with Zelda over here and drop her off, and she's going to tell you some weird stuff while you're driving, and you can't skip it. So good luck with that, and we'll see you at the next part. So once you wake up, you'll find out that your BB is gone, and we have to get our chiral bandwidth up high enough to bring BB back. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I forget. It's like 4 years since I watched the actual cutscenes in this. I don't know. It probably made sense. Kojima's pretty good for being weird, but making sense in the end. So, yeah, we have 5 specific PCCs that we have to put down to make zip lines out here. And so it's very important to pay attention to these and make sure they connect up. The first place we're going is the doctor. So grab the thing for the doctor and 5 PCCs and your trike. Right out here and put the first zip line right here. On foot, run up over this ridge and back down. And if there's a bridge here, great. If not, you got to go up to the left a little bit and jump over the river. That's difficult, but get used to it. And then make your delivery to your doctor. Once he's on the network, you can put your second zip line right here by these containers. Make sure it's connecting to the first one. So go ahead and zip line back to the first zip line that you put down. Grab your trike and go back to the distribution, to the Mountain Knot City, and you'll pick up a job for the Mountaineer, and he's on the other side of this place. So head out and go right and go up the little hill that you did before, and look for this little snowy spine right here. And at the top of that, you want to put another PCC. Make sure it connects to the first one you laid down. And then we're looking for that little ridge over there by the little poles, posts, Parthenon, ruins, whatever, Stonehenge. And that probably will have BTs in it, so just be careful. You're going to put your bike down on this side of it and then walk up to the hill and put it right there. Now, it's a real tight 300 meters to the top of the ridge where we're putting our next one, so make sure you get this as deep as you can and still connect with the one behind you. So right there should be fine. Now we got to drive through this field, and it's difficult, and you might cause a void out, and that's okay. But when you get done, you want to drive to the left here and go up this little hill slope, turn right and follow the spine of these mountains and also the chiral network line up to the very top here, and you'll see a little ski slope looking protrusion rock. You should be able to turn around and see like a little saddle in the mountain the other way. And you should be able to put down a zip line that will connect to the last one you just did. Once that's done, grab your bike and ride over to the Mountaineer and give him his stuff. And he will be reluctant, as a lot of these guys are. He'll ask you to pick up some medicine from the doctor and bring it back to him, and that's a time delivery. So you have already built basically all the zip lines you need for this. So go ahead and drive around. Hook around to the right and go up this way. It's easier than trying to go straight up the way you came. And then use your zip line to get to the doctor. Pick up your stuff at the doctor. Zip line back to your bike. Drive down the slope there and over to the Mountaineer and make your delivery. And now he is your buddy. He'll let you put stuff on his property. So what you want to do then is before you take any jobs, you want to go ahead and throw a PCC down here. And he's going to send you to the photographer, which is all the way back down the hill, and that's fine. But you want to put a zip line here that connects to the one you just did. You also want to look up the hill on the back there, and There's almost always a zip line there. It's a really common place, but if not, you will have to put one there later. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're in view of it. There is a rock here that can block your way, and you don't want to get up there and have it blocked. So that's that. We're going to head for the Mountaineer. We're going to head for the Photographer, and that's downhill. So I come back out the way we came and then just follow this little saddle, this little gully, I guess, if you will, down here. And on the left, you will get another memory chip, which is great. I think that's memory chip 24, maybe. Is that where we're at? Unless I missed one. And then when we get down to the bottom here, you're going to be in a mule camp. The building right here at the north end has another memory chip in it. That'd be 25. And I suggest you go ahead and grab it. You can probably get in and get out without too much damage. You're coming right back here in a minute, but it's, you know, you're already here. You might as well get it. That's one less thing to worry about when death is on the line. So meet the Photographer, take a bola gun, grab her camera. It's actually on somebody, so you got to get off, knock them out, grab the camera, and get out of there. If you got to knock some people out, that's fine too with the bola gun. You don't have to kick them. You're not even going to be there for 30 seconds. So once you get the camera, head back to the Photographer. Once you get that done, you're going to get a job back at Mountain Knot City for the Mountaineer. He will take you to the Spiritualist, which is the next thing that you got to do, and you got to do it through a whiteout. So head up to the Mountaineer on your zip line. Take the zip line up to that spot, that peak that I told you about just now, and then just start walking and do the best you can. There's a little spine behind here that you can't really see right now, but it's there. And just keep walking until you get to the Spiritualist. It takes a while. I've seen people do it on the bike. It might be quicker. That's up to you. Once you get to the Spiritualist, grab 2 PCCs, and you're going to put a zip line right on this rock here. And it won't connect to anything. That's okay. We'll hook it all up later. And then we're going to go up this little spine here and this little area of snow here and put one right here. And this is on top of the first prepper. Again, there's nothing you can really do with him right now. I don't even think his door is open. You can't even access the terminal. But the next time we come through, we can zip line there instead of walking. So there you go. Once you do that, if you head around the back here and walk up to this peak, you can go left without having to climb down the cliff and risking dying a lot, which I've done. So walk over to that big rock first and then turn left and walk down the slope. Yeah. Now, I believe after this cutscene is when you got to do cliff one more time. So I'll leave that in this split as well. And basically just run the way it makes you run. Go down into the sewers and head left. And then you kind of come out this way. Use the blood bag as a guide. That's the exit. Climb the ladder, and then you'll have to fight him again. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this the first time we fought Cliff, but when you fight Cliff, you want to do it with an assault rifle, and he will spawn with about 4 of his buddies. You don't have to kill the buddies. You can if you need to, because they'll be shooting at you. But if you just kill him, it will move to the next thing. He'll spawn 4 times. You got to kill him 4 times. The Odra deck will point you in the right direction. And once you take him out for the 4th time, that cutscene will be over and you'll move on. In this case, we're going to wake up at Mountain Knot City, and that's going to be the end of the second split. So we're at 6 hours and 10 minutes into this playthrough. And we're doing pretty good. I mean, we're more than halfway done with the game. The next thing we got to do is go up through the Hartman, like the real mountain area, the geologist, paleontologist, Evo Devo, and then down to the chiral relay, and then that'll take us to Edge Knot, and then we track our way back, and that's the end of the game, and then the real hard part starts. So that's kind of where we're at. Again, thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. I know I'm going really fast, but the game is very slow, and these splits are like 2 hours of gameplay, and I don't know. I feel like about 20 minutes is all anybody would really want to listen to me talk anyway. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll move forward. In the meantime, I'll see you on the next video. In the meantime, stay bad, people. Non-gone is gone.